Good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you may be, or good evening, or good night. This is Jen at JensArtyInclinations, a place to create, share, and play.
DEPHEMEREMBER, Day 11, hosted by Luise Heinzl and 49 Dragonflies. The prompts are Handmade, Stamp and Jumbo Tag. And today's surprise animal is the toucan. All right, now for a quick crash course in what I've learned on making stamps. You don't actually even need to carve like the one that I've done on the left there. You can actually just use some shapes and use some of your existing stamps to, do some different play. So if you stamp down in one colour first, preferably a lighter colour than what I've chosen here, but you'll still see the gist. Then you grab one of your other regular stamps, like a nice background stamp or something with a pattern on it. Stamp it on your shape that you first put down, and then you stamp straight over the top again. So this works really well with your clear stamps. And you notice you just got a little bit of extra texture in it. Hard to see in that one. You'll see it better in the next one because I stamped it lighter. So here we go, ready and press. So there's a name for that technique, can't remember it off the top of my head, but isn't that cool? So it gives you that little background, but then you've also got the texture over the top, and you can use, whatever different backgrounds you have. So here I just used, two different colours. So even in an eraser, like a soft eraser, that's all you need. If you're carving, it's a good idea just for safety to have some kind of an edge to press it up against. This is my carving board, but put a book or something in front of you rather than your hand, because that way you won't slice into your hand. Now, I promise you, while you're carving, you are going to do that because it does happen to everybody, but you do get used to it. So, yeah, the way that I'm doing it here is just not as safe. I have just been doing it a while and I'm not very careful. So see how if that had have slipped, it would have gone straight into my finger. So I've carved loads and loads and loads of stamps. I'll just do a quick little montage here of some of the different stamps that I've carved, and you'll see I just use offcuts. I cut up some of those easy carve blocks, but if I'm doing different shapes, see that one's just an L, it was an edge. Oh, now that is a foam sticker, a kid's foam sticker, and that's all I've used. That one with the little holes in it, that was just part of packaging. And you'll notice I use all kinds of little pieces. I save a lot of my little offcuts. That's a double-sided one. This little flex piece works really well for lines on pages. Honestly, it's just great fun. You can have lots and lots of play. And really, all you need is one single carving tool, and you can get ones that have all different tips, but if you just get a little V carving tool, it's amazing what you can make. This one I actually cut away all the background so that you just had the image pop out, and then on the other side I did the opposite, the actual outline of the image, and so then you're printing the background and the image is coming out in relief. That was just my elephant that I did, but I didn't need to use him obviously. There I was showing you the easy carved blocks that I grab. Now what I'm using here, this is a trivet that I cut up. It was just one of those silicone trivets, and I believe that one was an IKEA one. And how cool was that pattern? But because it's rubber, you can use the felt floor savers, you can cut those up. You can cut elastic bands up. I found these great wide ones. Even glue, you can even just use glue. Now, of course, you can use cardboard and just cut out shapes. That's another way that you can make your own stamps. I find I don't have as much success in this. You'll see here, I didn't get a print at all on the first one, so I had to really load it up with ink. I gather if you roughen it up, that helps. However, if you square your block, then you can actually just overprint. Oh, I'm trying. I cannot remember the life of me what that's called. But yeah, when you do a little edge, and you can just do that with masking tape. You don't have to have it something that you block up against like I'm doing there. Quite often I'll just edge in masking tape, and then I've actually got my setup so that I can print down, and then I can print over and over again on the same piece. Here I'm just doing the stripe, so again that looked a bit cool. Now we're on to the piece that I'm actually making today. This is my jumbo tag that I'm making up. Now, because toucans, they actually nest in hollows, in trees apparently, not ones that they build. Their beaks aren't strong enough to dig them out. So things like woodpeckers and other animals that dig into trees, they use the holes and things that they've left, and that's where they live. So I wanted to make a tree trunk. So I stamped all over a piece of brown paper, and then I twisted it all up so that I could get it looking kind of like a tree trunk. So, very, very flush technique here. Literally just rolling up the paper and twisting it and scrunching it up and twisting it. I'm just trying to get it in the one up and down direction. That's why I'm not using the momogami style, but it's similar to that. It's just up and down instead of all over. And then I'm pasting that onto a background piece to make my jumbo tag. So my tag is just a bit of art this time, really. And you'll see I'm just playing with it. So rubbing over some more ink, and I used the dark colours to rub over once I had it to this point. And then I edged it all with the ink as well. I even used a bit of black. Now, to get the hole in the middle, took me a while, but eventually all I did was cut a circle and then folded it in half, and voila, I was able to, cut around it then, and it was much easier. So again, edged it all with black soot, and inside the tree trunk, of course, it would be dark. So I made it dark in there. Sorry about all the background noise. My family is very noisy today, but I wanted to get this out to you as quick as I could. Then what I did was I just cut another little piece just to put around the tree trunk hole to make it I'm saying realistic, but of course this isn't realistic. But it does give a more abstract impression of the knot in the tree. So crinkling it up a little bit, ready to paste it down onto the background. And I'm using art glitter glue and just pressing it down. More crinkling, more pressing, remembering that I completely forgot to put the toucan in. So he needs to go in his little nest. So there he is. He's the whole inspiration for this giant tag. And I'm just adding a bit of shadow around the edge there, making sure that that's nicely glued down, putting him in. And now all I need to do is pop the topper in. I'm just rounding the edge on that hole a little bit, like curving the paper over a little bit. I could have played with that a lot more. But I just enjoyed, there's a lot of extra stuff that I could have done on this. I could have added moulding paste, and I could have added more materials to give it, a rougher sheen edge. And I probably will. I think I'll make a book cover like this sometime. It was just, lots of fun, really easy, great stuff. All right, so here I'm popping some sari ribbon in the top, and I decided I'd just give it a hint of a tag so that I'd cut the tag shape just slightly at the top, and then I'm adding a few more sari ribbon underneath that because I felt like the tree was a bit long, and I was going to put some grasses at the bottom, but I thought then they always catch every time they come up out of the belly band that I'm planning on doing for it. So I just literally glued them in. I could have tied them in. And there's the back. You can actually, believe it or not, still write on the back of this. It's actually not a bad surface. So here I'm just making up the belly band. I'm going to do a horizontal one, and I'm gluing it down, making it a nice, thick, sturdy edge. That's that piece of paper that we just stamped all over at the beginning. So, some of it's for a background. There's the circle that I cut out of it to do the hole in the tree. I had another coffee-dyed piece of paper that I just put on the background, and bing! Did you notice how quickly that got sewn? Like magic. All right, so I just sewed some sari and stuff on top of, and some other fabric on top of that belly band piece. And then there's my tag, everyone. So in he goes. He's got his little nest. And what a happy little toucan. I thought this was a bit fun to make a tree. I hope you enjoyed, And as I said, go and check out the little playlist that I've got for making stamps if you want to know a bit more, and I'll probably do some more of those over time. Really happy with how this turned out. Can't believe how much it actually does look like the bark on a tree. I'd love it if you could leave me a comment below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw today. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time. And in the meantime, keep creating. Enjoy!